All right, I have for sale here in these two boxes is the same big brake kit I have on my Dodge Dakota. It's 99. I believe it's 97 through 04 is that year range. This is a complete kit. Unbolt your entire spindle and bolt this one on. Comes with spindles. It's already assembled, ready to go. Put it on, get your alignment, get brake lines, and all set. Basically bleed the brakes. Only reason I don't include brake lines because they change somewhere between either 2000 2003, so the older ones have different ones than the newer ones, so I didn't add that because I don't know who's buying it. If you really need them made, I'm sure I can get some made. Your local whoever can make them, I'm sure. Find a Goodyear or something like that. This is the kit on my truck. As you can see, these are 20s, plenty of clearance in here. You can run 18, some 17s will fit. You get the cross-drilled and slotted rotors, not the flat ones like mine. I do have the same kit on. All right, so if you're wondering what the 5-lug swap is and what the brakes and all that stuff, we take an 03, 04 spindle and press the pin out because the pin is pressed into those spindles, and we machine it down to accept the new Mustang bearing. So the Mustang bearing falls on there, and it's actually deeper than the original Dodge bearing. So what I do is I machine this bushing, which I've seen people machine these before and use that same bearing, but that outer bearing barely sits on this, which will wear that bearing out pretty quickly. So I machine a whole nother bushing sleeve, if you will, that goes right over top of that, so that the bearing sits onto this guy too, and it covers up almost all of it. It leaves a little bit of a gap there, but that's for, you know, if the bearing compresses anyway when you tighten it down. I want to make sure it fucking bottoms out, squishing the fucking bearing, or squishing on this and the bearing's not actually fucking tightened down all the way. And then when this goes back on, it doesn't quite get to the locking part of the nut, so these are Loctited on. Impact will get it off, or fucking breaker bar, I don't care, but that's to keep this guy on. We don't want that bitch falling off. I can't find a nut, or else I would have done it, that's has a lock on it, so crimp nut, lock nut, whatever, with a big fat washer, because you need this fucking surface area to crush down that bearing. You don't want a little bitty nut, or if you had a washer by the time you get there, and then it ends up not fucking locking anyway. So there's no profile nut that I could find, so we're just dealing with fucking Loctite. You know, some of the consequences, rather than fucking, the only other option I've thought of is remachining a whole nother pin, which is gonna get kind of costly. So I'm trying to keep this fucking kit relatively inexpensive, if you will, or rather fucking affordable to most people, without being a fucking $4,000 kit like everybody else's shit, and also getting that 5-lug conversion. Some people love the Viper shit and Mopar, this and that. I don't care, I'm not sponsored, so I like 5-lug. 5x114 is probably the most popular fucking lug pattern in the world. You can buy whatever wheels you want at factory, aftermarket ones, you're more than likely to find them. That fucking 6-lug, you get Viper, which is gonna be expensive as fuck, or you got the same Dodge Dakota shit, which is mostly almost all off-road wheels. So good luck with that. I know a lot of us we like our low muscle trucks. So there's that part of it. Then also this, the spacers for the calipers. We machine 2 per side because it's a lot easier to, a lot cheaper to machine this size steel or aluminum rather than fucking a whole one. So we're just doing with 2 of them. It is what it is, sandwiches together. It all works. My kit's been on my truck for quite a while now, no problems. I've jammed on the brakes. They work fantastic. And another thing that I did, I also have an 8.8 in the rear, so I have disc brakes in the rear of the thing. I went out and got a 06 Viper master cylinder, but only one of them that I've seen has a bigger bore, which I wanted you know, more volume for more space inside of that caliper that has to push now, plus some discs in the rear. Go on Rock Auto, I even compared. I found one that's different, that it doesn't share with the Dakota, that the whole year, that 06, almost all of them share except for this one. And this one, I did some research, is bigger. The original Dakota and Viper is 15/16. This one, I want to say, was 1 1/16. It's just over an inch. So I went ahead and did that. You don't have to if you don't want. I just didn't want a squishy feeling pedal. So it's a little, it kind of stiffens that pedal back up. I did take a screenshot showing the comparison of the Dakota and the Viper master cylinders, and the one that's different, I circled it. I'll also put the part number in the comments if you're interested in it. I'll also share the video showing the bearing going onto this, how much space is left, plus the bushing in there, and how much that actually takes up, just so you know. I don't want to sell you a kit that's junk and garbage. I've been running mine before I put this kit together for quite a while. Again, I don't want to sell you junk. Make sure your shit works. I don't want you coming back saying it didn't work. This thing works. It's awesome. I can get you some.